when you guys get back to your barge, I guess I'm going to load up the barge map now.
Oh no.
Do you not want to load up the barge map, McDohl?
I'm worried about what's going to happen to our poor barge. It's been through a lot in the last couple of months. We need to...
It's only been 1 month in game. You guys have...
Look, I can cast Mending. It's fine.
So here's the problem, right? Is people hear the word barge and they think, well, I've got a barge right in. It's a branding issue.
Oh, okay.
When you get
So
there...
we need to start calling this a houseboat?
Linda, in the front room of your barge, which is up here somewhere, sitting in one of the corners, Linda kind of intercepts you at the door and directs your attention to this young girl who is sitting in your barge. Right now she's sitting in a chair in the corner, kind of holding a mug of hot something or other in her hand and kind of sipping it gingerly, watching you very intently as you guys come into the barge.
I love hot something.
Apparently she's been waiting here for maybe an hour or two. She showed up earlier in the afternoon. She looks like a noble lady. She's very young. Can't be older than maybe 12 or 13. But she has this beautifully styled hair held up with some kind of pin and a ribbon tied up. She's wearing a beautiful dress, the kind that you wouldn't actually see people wearing around town. You can tell that her shoes and her socks and the hem of her dress has picked up quite a lot of dirt and grime from the street, probably on her way over here. And she's cupping this mug of whatever Linda got for her in her hand. She's wearing these light blue gloves. And when she's not holding this mug, sipping from it, she's kind of worrying at the gloves, like pulling on one of the fingers and then pulling it back here and there, threading her fingers together, sliding them in and out of each other. And so what's the initial reaction? Actually, first of all, before I was going to ask what's your initial reaction, now I have to ask, Gus, what do you do with the drunk asshole who has soiled himself?
I mean, I take him downstairs and put him in my boat.
Okay.
When I see Gus coming in with someone I don't recognize, I'm going to go to the back of the barge, climb up and break into my own window so I can change without being seen.
Okay.
You have a literal ladder down.
Not to my window. That's how you get leeches.
Those barnacles that did that. All right, so the other three of you
Barnacle
are in the room with this little girl, with this beautiful dress and these blue gloves, and her Ritz ribbon, and her dark styled hair. And Linda can't do much. Well, Linda can't do much in the way of making introductions because she communicates entirely in grunts and pointing.
She has a wonderful singing voice, though.
So the three of you who aren't otherwise indisposed, what's your initial reaction when you see the little girl sitting there?
How old does she look? You keep saying little girl.
She's prepubescent, so she can't be older than 11, 12 years old.
Oh boy. Oh, children. Okay.
Human?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
I mean, Alex just treats her like any other customer.
Okay. As you, So how do you address her, Alex, when you come in?
My name's Alexander. Welcome to Flumph Inc. How can we help you?
She sets the mug aside, and she hops down from the chair, and she gives a curtsy, and you can tell she's very, very nervous. She says... she introduces herself. Her name is Kana. And then, for a moment, she catches herself, and she... It sounds like she almost corrects herself. Kana Khan is my house name. Am I getting arrested for that name?
Yeah, I think so.
It's too bad. All right.
Let me mute myself.
Nodal, are you gonna visit me on the inside?
I think they're actually coming for me. It says here D&D crimes. That can't be right.
It's because you made a thin crust, low calorie pizza, didn't you? Treble was right.
God.
The food police are coming.
Treble ratted me out.
Let's get an insight check from the three of you.
Yeah.
Insight check.
Lucius will politely introduce himself as well.
Okay.
Rick, in a few minutes, can I make my way in?
Very suave.
Yeah, in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
It's a 12 for Alex.
Okay. How'd Florian do?
That's a 1.
13.
13. Florian, a young lady introducing herself for the first time would use the honorific lady. She wouldn't just blurt out her name. And her surname is definitely would not be referred to as her house name. That doesn't make any sense. This little girl is trying to play at being a noble and fumbling badly. But she introduces herself as Kana Khan. She says that she's come to speak with Flumph Inc., but none of you were here. So I was told by your serving woman to wait, and I've been waiting patiently.
Well, I do apologize for making you wait this long, and if we could step into an office, we can discuss your matter further.
And she nods vigorously. And about the time you guys are being led into, you guys usually meet in Alex's office with clients, right?
Yeah.
By about the time you come into Alex's office, Gus and Seeker have seen to their respective troubles down below. The man is out, by the way, Gus. You flop him down in your boat, and he is snoring away fitfully.
I'm going to tuck him in, give him a little kiss on the head, and go back upstairs.
Oh my god.
Bumping into Gus in the hallway as we make our way in. I'm going to stop him for a second and sniff. All right, one minute.
Florian
Come back.
is
Perfume him.
Florian's doing what?
Sorry. Florian is starting to prepare to cast Detect Magic.
By the time the five of you get into the office and some pleasantries are out of the way, she says that a friend of hers, and she thinks a friend of yours, sent her here to talk to you, and it's a matter of some delicate importance.
First of all, who's our mutual acquaintance then?
And she reaches into a handbag she's carrying, and she pulls out a charming little ring. And when she turns it in the light, you see that the orange stone on it isn't a stone. It's in fact a signet. And you recognize the signet immediately as that of the flying pig. She says, My friend, you do know him, yes?
We know of him.
Lucius pulls in a long breath and is like, okay. He's immediately more guarded.
My friend has had troubles, difficulties as of late. Some business in town that he's been having difficulty seeing to, and he says he thinks that the Flumphery, the Flumph Inc. is interrupting his business. And you're Flumph Inc., right?
That's us.
He sent me here to, and she seems to try to, like she's trying to regain her composure a little bit, but she doesn't stop fidgeting and worrying at her gloves.
Mm-hmm.
She says, he sent me here to negotiate an agreement that would be amenable to both parties. That he will stop, my friend that is, he will cease any operations here in Dunfoss for the foreseeable future, but in return he wants something of yours that you have here. I have a drawing of it in my handbag. She showed it to me.
Let's
So-
see it.
You wouldn't want to be the one hiring us then?
And she looks a little confused. She stops reaching into her handbag. She says, I'm sorry, I'm not here to hire you. I'm here to negotiate the terms amenable to both parties.
I just wanted to clarify that you didn't want to hire the services of someone who is capable of giving your friend difficulties.
She says she has no need. I'm very sorry, but no, I have no need of your services. And she looks a little embarrassed, and she casts her eyes down at her feet, where she's kind of fidgeting her feet together. She says, I don't know what it is you do.
Oh, a little of this and a little of that. We have very reasonable rates.
Investigators, primarily. Although we have been known to branch out into other forms of work.
Let's see the drawing.
She reaches into her handbag, and she takes out this folded piece of parchment. Very expensive-looking parchment. And she opens it up, and what she's drawn is a glove, or a gauntlet. That doesn't look like a glove or a gauntlet. It looks like a child, like somebody described a rotting severed hand to a child, and the child mistook it for a glove. But it's unmistakable. It has the sharp nails at the end. It's got the ashy gray coloration to it. And she's mistaken the ragged edge where the thing has been broken off and severed at the wrist for being the frills around the edge of a glove. She says, my friend, he collects treasures and pretty and valuable things, and he wants this thing. She reaches forward and hands the drawing to Alexander.
What was the name of the guy who had his cart stuck in the mud?
I have that information for you, perhaps.
You guys wanted to throw it in the ocean. Wouldn't you have felt foolish?
Oh, I do have his name somewhere. I don't have it to hand at the moment.
I don't have it, but Alex swears and says, oh, great, he was a setup the whole time.
You say that out loud?
Yeah.
And she just looks confused. She doesn't understand what you mean.
What
But
were his instructions for us to do with this glove?
I could take it to him. He said once, if you give it to me, I could give it to him, and then he will cease operations in Dunfoss, which that's what you want, is to stop his business here in the city, yes?
I'm kind of looking over at the two spellcasters who typically have detect magic, like, you guys got anything on her?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Okay. And there's some form of very strong illusion magic coming off of her clothing. She's not magical. She's not carrying anything magical, but the clothing she's wearing you think is under some kind of illusion magic.
Okay. Does it look like the clothing is affecting her?
It's difficult to tell.
Okay.
Without knowing the exact nature of the magic.
Okay.
Your friend. Have you been friends with him for very long?
Not very long, but he's a good friend. He's given me quite a lot, and said that I would work for him someday, and this is the first job that he's given me.
Well,
Do you have parents? Where are your parents?
And she immediately casts her gaze down at the floor.
With respect,
she says
young
that-
lady. I'm just going to say, with respect, young lady, one should be more discerning about one's employers at times.
I'm gonna say out loud to the child, well, I wouldn't want to do anything without our expert's advice, and I'm gonna point to Destil and make finger guns. And I'm gonna cast message.
Alexander's okay, and he gets out his new gun and shoots the girl.
I'm going to say to Alexander, she's under some kind of illusion. I think she might not be what she's looking to be.
Alex will nod at Seeker. So how were you supposed to get this to your friend once we gave you the gauntlet?
If you were to give it to me, and I suppose he would find me and take it. I could give it to him directly. You wouldn't have to do anything else. It wouldn't be difficult or dangerous. All you'd have to do is give me the treasure, I think.
And where?
So wait, he doesn't tell you to bring it somewhere?
And she shakes her head.
Alex will mouth the word illusion to both Lucius and Gus.
Gus is going to kneel down in front of her
Okay.
and say, this person that you're calling your friend has killed a lot of people, was planning on killing a lot of people. Do you need help?
So her first response is to shirk away as she smells the drink on your breath.
No, he's perfumed.
His breath is perfumed.
Mouthwash.
I mean, it's way too. It's a very strong perfume. Like, it's very unpleasant to be near.
So, is there something magical happening here, or did you give Gus perfume to gargle?
Oh, I mean, I mouthwashed him and perfumed him because we were seeing a client, and I could tell he was drunk, Gus. You can check the VOD. I did say that.
Yeah.
I heard perfume. All right, so Seeker is making Gus drink his perfume. Got it.
It's delicious. They make it from whale fat.
It's like he hands me the perfume. And he's like, "Here, put this on," and drunk Gus just gargles it.
That's a John Mulaney sketch. You ask her if she's in trouble, and she shakes her head. No, but you can tell that she's starting to get much more nervous that you guys didn't just agree to this thing right away.
Well, if we were to give it to you, we would need to give you something to give to our receptionist on your way out. And Seeker will flip her a silver piece.
And she kind of puts her arms up, because in just like a reflex as he flicks something in her direction and startled her, and the silver piece kind of just hits her and lands in her lap. And she, after a moment, she sees what it is, and she picks it up. I think I'm not explaining very well. There's no payment required. You're not to pay me.
My mistake then.
And she reaches forward the silver piece, and I guess Gus is still sitting there and holds it out to drop it into Gus's hand.
Gus will
Lucius
take
nods
it.
approvingly to Seeker.
We can't get you the item today. We can get it to you tomorrow. It's secured. Obviously, an object like that we don't just leave lying around on the barge.
Where is the actual hand?
Did you give me that bag to keep?
We had a bag of holding that I warned you would probably stop working at some indeterminate point when Tom Wolfe stopped.
So yeah, it's not in that. It's just because it did ominous shit to me yesterday. It's still tied up in a sack in the chest in my room. And the chest is locked.
So it is on the barge. You're bluffing when you say
it is on the
it's
barge.
Not on the barge.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we're BSing.
Now, she kind of stammers for a minute. I thought he had told me that you had it here. And she's wringing her hands very nervously now. And you can see she's starting to get scared. I wonder if I misheard him. I wonder if I didn't pay close attention. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to... I hope this doesn't ruin the deal at all.
Well, we moved after he told you. He couldn't have known.
And she nods and says, well, and what am I to tell him when he asks me again?
When do you expect he'll ask you again?
And she again looks down at the floor, down at her feet, kind of squirrels her feet tightly together. I expect tonight.
Why don't we come with you and talk to him ourselves?
He doesn't. She shakes her head fairly vigorously. Says he doesn't want that. That's why he sent me. He said it's a very important job, but that you'd be agreeable to his terms. You want him to stop doing business in Dunfoss. Isn't that what you want?
Do you know what his business in Dunfoss entails?
She just shakes her head.
And Lucius very matter-of-factly and very pointedly explains what the Flying Pig has been up to in Dunfoss.
On a scale of 1 to 10, if you were to tell this tale to an actual 11-year-old, how hard are you trying to scare the shit out of them?
I'm gonna say a 6.
A 6?
Oh, coward.
Make an intimidation check. So I'm assuming you're going to tell her about the killings and maybe about the monsters and things, but not go into great detail about, like, the butchery that you've seen.
No exploding insects.
Yeah.
Yeah, make an intimidation check.
That's only a 9.
Okay.
Because I can't ever roll good when it's important.
You can't ever roll well when it's important.
Shut it.
Good response.
Through your description, she doesn't make eye contact with you at all. She's looking down on her feet, she's shuffling nervously, and you can tell she's visibly becoming more and more scared. And at the end of it, she says, and her voice is like very meek and very far away, if I were you, the things that you say are true. I think I would want him to stop his business too. Then.
But you're not us. You're you. Are you in trouble?
Here's the thing.
Gus is trying to be very, very ginger with the child.
Okay.
We've been fairly effective at stopping his business already. That's why he sent you to us.
What is she wearing? That's illusion. Is it a pretty dress?
She's wearing a very pretty dress. She's wearing blue gloves. She's wearing very nice shoes, but they're dirty. Her shoes and socks and the hem of her dress are dirty, as though she's walked across town wearing this finery. And she's wearing a colorful ribbon pinned in her hair, and her hair is dark and curly, like it's been recently styled.
Flying Pig give you that dress?
She nods, and she says that he's given me many nice things. He's a very good friend.
Yeah. Okay. And he gave you a note, I guess.
Was the ring enchanted, Brick?
No, it's just a signet ring. If you recall, the rings were mundane. It was the sealing wax that was enchanted. Florian, at the mention of the note, you see tears start welling up in her eyes. And she says, something's going to happen to me, isn't it? Something happened to Drudalf, didn't it? And the others that he said could work for him. What's going to happen if I don't... And she starts breathing heavily, and it becomes more difficult for her to get a single sentence out. But yeah, she has apparently met Drudalf at some point.
So here's the thing, is the Flying Pig doesn't keep up his ends of the bargain. People who have worked for him faithfully in the past have met bad ends.
They've been paid in false gold that turns to nothing.
But
in their hands after their work is done.
But I'm not to be paid in gold. Maybe I could do a better job if I get the glove that he wants, the treasure that he wants, and bring it to him. All you have to do is is give it to me. If something bad happens to me, it would be your fault. It would be your fault, wouldn't it?
What did he? What is he going to pay you with? What is he going to pay you?
And she repeats that he's given her many pretty things, this pretty dress and this pretty ribbon, and jewelry that she's not wearing. It wouldn't be proper to wear to a meeting like this, but
Lucius is muttering under his breath in Infernal.
what is he saying in Infernal?
But he's saying "you 6'6" son of a bitch," basically, kind of stuff.
Alexander leaves the room.
Lucius.
In reference to the
When you say that,
flying pig.
you see the little girl, her eyes snap in your direction. At this point, her face is getting red as she's having difficulty breathing with the crying. You can tell she's trying to choke it back, not to. But you see the recognition. She understood the words you said. Where's Alex going?
Linda, I need a set of child's clothing to fit that girl. Do we have anything?
And she grunts and mutters, and I mean, you guys have a trunk of clothes for like disguises and things for you gnomes to change into.
You want to go into Seeker's room, probably.
So yeah, she's got.
Yeah. Seeker has some very pretty dresses in there for when he pretends to be a small human child.
So here's the thing: you're joking.
No, I'm not.
It doesn't need to be a dress. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Do you want a pretty dress? Because I've got a nice one.
Yeah.
Alexander's going to come back with a change of clothes. All right, he's going to call Florian out of the room.
All right.
All right, so dress is magicked. Gloves are probably magicked. Let's have Linda change her, get her out of those. I could build a replica of what she thought we were supposed to give her. That kind of gauntlet-looking thing that's not the hand, but I don't know if that's the safest. I think right now the biggest thing is getting rid of any magic she has on her.
I don't see any reason why we should let her leave.
No.
Agreed. Oh wait, no, I'm outside. Never mind. I'm still in there with her.
Yeah.
Does
Bad idea.
like how sincere is she being with the crying?
Make an
Like,
insight
is this?
check.
But to say, are these crocodile tears?
Make an insight check.
That is a. Sorry. It's a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
It's difficult to say because on one hand you are aware that one, the flying pig has targeted children in the past, and children can get highly emotional when they think that they're in trouble. On the other hand, you've also noticed that the flying pig has given the people that he's signed up actual magic powers.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Also,
one could really go either way.
How
Also, I'm
sincere?
very drunk.
How sincere is she in terms of not being made out of insects?
So far, no Lucas has
That's
sworn for it.
that's Florian's skill set.
I have to hope that's a conjuration.
Lucius, what are you
Right,
doing
or transmutation.
while they're out there arranging for her change of clothes? Where are you directing her to? Because right now she's very adamant that if you guys think that something bad is going to happen to her, that's all the more reason you should give her the treasure that he wants. And then he'll cease operations here, which is what you want anyway. She doesn't understand why you guys are being so stubborn about it.
By the way, because I don't trust Drunk Gus at the moment. Sorry, Drunk Gus. I'm going to give Linda the rundown on exactly why we don't want the child to leave, that we think she's being targeted by a demon. Well, we know she's being targeted by a demon, but we think she might be harmed if she leaves. And ask her if she'd be willing to restrain her if the child tried to run.
My thought is put her in one of the empty offices with Linda, have her take off her clothes and leave them there. Linda gives her new clothes. And yeah, grab her if she tries to make for the window.
So yeah, Lucius, you have a couple of minutes to direct the conversation while they're out there arranging these clothes.
I would like to put forth the idea that we give her the decoy arm and we follow her back to where she might meet the demon.
Right, that was my idea, but it's going to take me at least a night to build something like that. I don't have to do a particularly good job of it.
So here's my thought then. We build the decoy arm. I, in the meanwhile, prepare detect thoughts. I see what the heck is going on in there.
I'm going to tell the young girl that whatever happens, I will do my utmost to see that you are not harmed. As long as you're under my protection, you will not come.
But she says, then just give her the glove, and then she won't come to harm, and nothing bad will happen.
Do you know?
Sorry, but we can't do that.
I think Gus is still in the room.
Yeah.
He's
Wait,
like,
she actually mentioned the arm. She didn't mention the.
No, the glove. She thinks it's a glove.
do you?
Yeah, I was trying to catch her in a lie there. Okay.
Do you know what your friend, the flying pig, is going to use this thing for?
And she shakes her head and she says she knows it's a valuable treasure and he collects such things.
If he uses it to hurt people,
how could you hurt someone with a glove?
Lucius takes a glove out of his own pocket and holds out his own arm, slaps it really hard along his wrist.
Yeah.
Like that.
Thank you for not slapping Gus.
She looks
That's
at your
right.
arm, and she looks back to you, and she kind of swallows a bit. She says, "See, no harm done. You're still, you haven't come to any harm."
The Dickens, though, and it stings like the Dickens, though, and done enough, it can leave lasting bruises.
Plus,
I think that's what your friend is planning to do with this glove.
And the other three at this point, so you're taking Linda into another room.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's my vote.
Yeah.
We get her in the other room. We change her. We tell her that we're going to go get the arm. It's going to take the night, and we don't want her to leave because we don't trust her friend. We just tell her the truth.
Yeah, but we definitely want to get her out of those clothes.
Yep.
And I don't want anyone else to touch the clothes except one of our magical professionals.
Yep. And we make sure she stays on the barge for the night. I'll prepare my spells in the morning. You can make the glove in the meanwhile, and we'll make our way out following her tomorrow.
So Linda has found a pair of gnomish pajamas with little footsies in Seeker's trunk.
why does Seeker have those?
Okay, so listen, that wasn't part of the disguise kit.
It's the one with like the little butt on the back buttons up.
Oh, it's like
That's
it's got a hood on it.
adorable.
It's got a hood on it. You pull it up. It's got little bear ears.
Yes.
It wasn't part of the disguise kit. That's not where I told you to look.
Seeker's like, fine, I'll sleep naked tonight. I don't care. No, this is all canon, by the way. This is happening.
Whatever, I'll wear it on the next camping outing. You're all gonna have to deal with it.
I'm just remembering that moment when we were all up for Destil's wedding a few years ago, and our friend Nick comes out of the room and he's wearing like a My Little Pony full body pajamas with like a unicorn.
I remember that. That was delightful.
Oh, they make those in grown man sizes. That's weird. Anyway.
He threatened to wear it to the wedding because it matched the colors.
He did. He did.
So I'm gonna suggest that she and Linda go into that room to change.
So it's gonna require some heavy persuasion because she's very adamantly against the idea of staying here any longer than need be. And you're trying to convince her to A, take off all the pretty clothes that she has, and B, stay here for the night instead of just this little like courier job that she was given.
Hey, Lucius, want a light?
Yeah.
So here's the thing: is when you do that, tell me when she makes her insight check to see whether Lucius is lying or not, and she rolls a 6.
So Lucius,
Yes.
you're gonna have to explain to her why you and your friends think it's better for her to stay here. She understands that the hand's not physically on the barge. If the glove literally isn't here, it's going to take you a day to arrange it. She doesn't understand why you want to stay here. Why you want her to stay here for the intervening time.
Because it's very dangerous for somebody so fancily dressed to go out and about, especially in the evening. Because I do know I've heard tell of people trying to steal horses and other valuable bits.
And I'm to sleep in these... It's got little bear ears. These are boys' pajamas.
They're adorable.
We didn't come here to make fun of pajamas.
Make me a persuasion check. And you're giving her insight a 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
18 plus 7 is 26.
After a few moments, you manage to get her calmed down. And she agrees to stay here for the night, as long as in the morning she has the glove and she can go and complete the transaction.
I am taking her drawing and I'm going down to my lab and starting to craft a gauntlet made out of lead to match the drawing.
Okay. So you send her in the other room with Linda to get changed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the plan.
After a few minutes then, when Linda comes out, she's not holding the poofy frilly dress and the hair ribbon and the little shoes. She's carrying just common street urchin clothes.
Yeah.
And who does she hand these off to?
Seeker will take them.
She hands them over to Seeker.
And did she see the clothes when she took them off? How did she react?
You're asking Linda?
Yeah.
Linda responds with grunts and hand gestures.
Or do I have to roll insight on Linda?
It's like she didn't notice that the clothes were just magics.
Okay.
But they are just common dirty street urchin clothes.
Alright, well, I honestly don't care if they're illusioned, so I'm going to cast Identify on them, and as long as they don't seem like they have some kind of horrible after effect on them, what do I care if she wants to look like she's wearing clothes that she's not?
Yeah, there's nothing special about the clothes other than when she puts them back on, they'll magically look like that ideal dress again.
Seeker doesn't see the difference between clothes that look like they're rich and rich clothes.
What's next?
Here's the problem that I see though, but that by accepting the clothes and wearing them, she binds herself to the flying pig.
Oh, that
She
ship has
allows the
sailed. I
flying
don't think
pig.
there's buyer's remorse on this sort of thing. I mean, I defer to your expertise, but I would imagine he's not going to accept the clothes back.
Alex, do you have to make any kind of rolls or anything to see if you craft this?
Only if you say I need to.
I mean, what are you making? Are you making it magically, or using a class feature, or how's that work?
Just Smith's tools and proficiency.
Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and give me that check. We'll see how close you can get to the drawing she made.
$22.
Okay. You work through the night then, and you make what looks like a reasonable facsimile of the drawing that she made on her very expensive paper. What are the rest of you doing throughout the night?
So, I need to take a long rest, so
Yeah.
tell me if this sounds like it's going to take so much time that it's going to prevent that.
No,
But I
nothing you
want to
do
just-
in the evening is going to prevent you guys from taking a long rest tonight if you so choose.
Then I want to quickly go out and buy clothes for my companions, so that I can disguise them more easily tomorrow, because we're going to follow this little girl.
Okay. Go ahead and spend whatever amount of money you think is prudent for that. Gus,
Yes.
when you make your way back down to your room, at what point tonight do you go back down?
When the little girl settled.
Okay. When you go into your room, you see Anders is standing inside of your boat with his breeches down around his ankles and his hands leaning forward against the wall, just peeing all over the inside of your boat. Like he's standing in one half, peeing into the other half.
In Gus's room, though, right?
In Gus's room.
Okay.
That's
What is it? Why are you just so against my furniture? As a DM, I need the explanation for this.
A boat is not furniture. What do you do?
Choke slam him.
I'm not gonna choke slam him. I just walk up behind him and slap him on the back and go, "Yo."
I mean,
feeling
with
better?
that, it's like, I don't know if you ever felt sick and been super drunk and had to pee a lot, but it's like he doesn't stop the stream when he spins around in shock after you startle him, and now he's peeing on your boots.
Ew.
I'm going to just step to the side.
And now he's peeing on your rug.
Again, why? Brick Road. Anyway.
Rugs are not furniture.
And he's teetering a bit. You can tell that he's got a wicked headache from being so recently just blasted out of his mind.
Says, the ocean's right outside. He could have peed out there.
And he looks down. Says, "I'm sorry, mate. I didn't even realize. Where am I? Do I owe you money?"
You're somewhere where I brought you to sleep it off, and no, you don't owe me any money. Although you could clean up your piss.
Is this a tap house? Why is the floor moving so?
Well, you did have an awful lot of just the worst, cheapest moonshine that I've ever seen. By the way, where did you get that? I need to. Anyway, you're on our barge.
And at this point, he's finished urinating and he's kind of dragging his soiled breeches back up, and he's still kind of wobbling back and forth. And he looks at you. What kind of light is in this room right now? Is there a candle lit or just moonlight? Or there's not even a window in here anymore, is there?
I mean, there's a window, but it's slightly boarded up. But I do have candles,
okay, so
and I would have lit one for him.
He says, "My being kidnapped, my being spirited away across the sea, like in the stories."
No, friend, barge, not ship. No, you're in the shallows. You're not too far from your home. Just a brisk 15-20 minute walk.
Slumps down into your canoe and rests his back against the wall.
It's not a canoe, it's a rowboat.
Whatever.
And Gus will kind of lean down, like kind of take a knee in front of him and go, say, "Are you going to be all right?"
That depends. Have you got anything to drink?
And Gus snorts. Yes. But before that, do you want to talk about it?
I don't even know who you are, mate. I don't even know what barge this is.
Let's just say that, this is, I'll tell him, like, Flumph Inc. We're over in the shallows. We have very reasonable rates.
A business card comes underneath the door.
Just slides under. He tells you that he knows you're not looking to rob him because he didn't have anything. And he knows you're not trying to kidnap him because you can't get anything for ransom. And he's certainly can't afford any sort of rates, reasonable or otherwise. So he's not really sure why he's here.
You look like you could use a friend. And Gus kind of stands up and he walks over to his chest and he starts digging around. And he's still asking questions. He's like I said, do you want to talk about it? Like, I got part of the story from you when you were blasted.
What are you pouring him to drink?
Just some beer. Like, just because I still have that ale that when Alexander said, "Hey, take this jug, you might find it useful," and I immediately made beer with it.
Okay.
I still have all that beer.
So you pour out a mug of room temperature beer for him. And as you're pouring, the story's just short and sad. It just kind of gives you a more coherent version of what you gleaned earlier. He worked his patrol as a moss cap. They wanted to change his patrol to another part of the city. He couldn't because he had to take care of his little sister. He was unable to pay for her medicine 1 month, and she died. And that was it.
What? How long ago did she die?
It's only been a couple of weeks. You can tell though he's having, like, the days are kind of stretching into each other for him since it happened.
I don't think your sister would want you to drink yourself to death like this.
So she's dead. I don't think she wants for much of anything anymore. And he reaches out and snatches the mug of beer from your hand.
Why did they change your patrol route? Surely they would be a little understanding of your situation.
And he scoffs at that and chokes on the slug of beer in his throat. Blurts out an unkind laugh. It's understanding. Oh, they understood all right. Understood me right out of a paycheck.
Did they give you a reason on why they were changing your routes?
He shakes his head and says, me and the boys thought it was because the king died.
Yeah. Again, and I'll go back over to my trunk and I'll dig in and I'll pull out a bottle of actual liquor and toss it to him.
Hey, he doesn't have the coordination to catch it, so it
hits him in the face.
Kind of hits him in the chest, and he grunts, and it rolls into the bottom of the boat, and he picks it up and pulls the cork and starts drinking from the bottle.
And I'll be like, go easy on that. That's dwarvish.
So what else are you trying to get out of this guy for tonight? What's the goal here? Just get him wasted and let him...
Yeah, just get him wasted one more time. Let him sleep it off.
Seeker is buying some clothes and coming back and preparing some new spells.
Yep.
And is anybody else doing anything tonight?
No.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to lay him out a change of clothes before I go to bed, though, and a note that says there's a wash basin outside.
Yeah, it's called the Ocean.
No, I mean there's an actual...
If you're going to keep pets, you have to house train them.
I will bring Alex up to speed on the lead that I found as a potential marriage candidate for our client.
Yeah, no, we didn't get a chance to talk.
Yeah, been a hell
Could
of a
you
day.
hold that right against that for about 6 seconds? If it starts burning your hand, if it takes like less than 4 seconds to start burning your hand, please hold it for another 2. After that, drop it. I discovered a little bit about the march towards the sea and the carving of the canal. Maybe with some people we can use. There's apparently some nobles or knights that still live in Wharfton that were bought out by Eldub's company, from what I can understand, or moved. I don't know. But what do we have for the Ponce? That's my main concern. He's going to be here tomorrow morning.
I got I talked to...
Oh, and if it starts smoking, put it under the fume hood.
Yeah, to be clear, I'm not holding anything.
No,
So
I was instructing Lucius to hold something.
Yeah, no. I just the Seeker says that out loud, as you correct Lucius. I talked to that coin collector, and he gave me a introduction letter to meet with the king's... What was it? The king's sister?
Yes, the king's eldest sister.
To meet with the king's sister, and it's a strange thing, but I've been looking at the letter, and it looks like it says whatever we want. So, if you come up with something that you think would be a good convincing reason why she should meet with us, I've got her in.
Huh. That's a lot. The best I can think for the Ponce... in the water before it gets glowing red would be, what if we can show him these coins and tell him, hey, look, as a descendant of... You have fabulous wealth already, right? So as a descendant of Fireblood, if we were to get you one of these coins, you could present an army of GIF.
Well, a platoon of GIF.
Sure.
I know someone who might be willing to sell him to rather trade him a coin if he was able to come up with a suitably rare alternative. He's got a few of the things.
Really?
One man down at the lighthouse, when I asked him about it, he suspects the coin came from another world.
That seems fanciful.
I mean, that makes sense, though. Doesn't the dancing hut dance between worlds? Isn't that the whole point?
Yeah, you're right.
Also, isn't there the hole that assholes come out of?
I never really
It's in the
put
city
much
where
stock-
assholes come out of.
I've never really put too much stock in that whole other worlds business of the Eldov stories.
I mean, the math checks out.
Isn't there like a literal portal that people can just go through? I figured like it's relatively well known, right?
It's kind of an open secret. It links Blue Worm and Kiska together.
Oh, I thought there was a portal to.
Yeah, I thought there was a portal
I thought
to-
there was an open portal to Sigil.
To Sigil.
Oh, there probably is, but it wouldn't be common knowledge amongst you lot.
Okay.
No, there definitely is. That was the whole purpose of the first campaign we did. Was
Yeah. I thought it was more public knowledge.
no,
My mistake.
but no, there are door to Sigils, but there's no way you guys would have any idea.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, so that's why Lucius is kind of dismissing that out of hand.
What do you think?
Yeah.
It's pretty good, frilly, like almost doily material made out of lead for the wrist of a gauntlet?
I don't know how you're going to get
What's your goal
really
for it?
anything out of a thing of lead.
No, I'm holding up what I've already built.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm asking. What's your goal for the lead? Because
I mean, it's
it
just
needs
a-
to be a certain thickness, depending.
It's just a nice soft metal that I can work quickly.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah,
see.
sounds fine.
Definitely not toxic in any way.
Certainly
She's
not.
not gonna drink from the thing.
I think
I
we should
guess.
tell Choreo Fireblood that we need to start investigating where Eldov went.
We should probably tell him we have started investigating where Eldov went.
Yes.
I think we should start telling him we've heard about a war with devils that Eldov got involved in, and there's been one hanging around, and we want to look
Also,
into it.
at what point are we going to start investigating Choreo Fireblood's like parents? I realized we were short on time, or I would have started that yesterday. Like, we're going to have to dig it, because he's not giving us anything. So we're going to have to
Yeah.
dig in, and I'm just wondering what that's going to open up.
One anthill kicked over at a time, guys. Let's deal with the scared little child that's come on our doorstep.
Oh no,
First.
I'm saying we should get paid for the scared little child. Let's tell Choreo we found out news that Eldov had this problem with devils, and that one of them has been around, and we think it might be related. We'll give him the coin too. We'll give him the devil coin, so he gets 2 coins. That's 2 for the price of 1.
I'm a little uneasy feeding him false information.
Yeah.
First of all, it won't get us paid. It's just going to get us not owing more debt.
Second of all, we don't know that he's not like actually the flying pig.
You have to understand though,
that would be a twist.
It's actually the flying pig. I don't much care what we tell him.
we suspect that the two might be related. We have inconclusive evidence at this time. So
That fucking halfling, was he like just waiting on the road for us? How is it that we leave the city? We're a day's march outside of it. We run into one person that's connected to this, indirectly through however many jumps.
I don't think it was that
That
he
had
was
to be a
connected.
setup.
I don't think it was that he was connected. I think it was this he found out we
it
have
wasn't by the flying pig.
yeah, the flying pig found out we had the hand. It's not like we were subtle about it. We went to a freaking temple and tried to have it
Yeah, we did.
disposed of.
Let me give you a real quick tip, by the way. If you're trying to pull one over on someone, you don't give them the thing that you want.
Yeah.
I don't think this was a
No.
con by the flying pig. Now, if
It's a
you're
little
saying there might be a third party involved who is pitting us against the flying pig, I might be here for that.
There is also the possibility of casting that dream spell. I have all the alchemical components to do it, whatever night we want to try. I'd rather... You said you can read minds now?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, and then
It'd be-
some more if I need to.
It might be good to have you doing that to me when I do it.
That was the plan.
I have a question. I have a question for just remembrance. So, are we under the assumption that the little girl got one of these letters and then agreed to it? And did the letters give knowledge of Infernal? Because that seems like a very weird skill set for an
reacted.
11-year-old girl to have. Yeah.
She reacted very visibly to me
No.
swearing an infernal.
They very much do not give knowledge of Infernal because the letters themselves had to change themselves so that they could be read by someone who could not read Infernal.
Why does this 11-year-old girl know Infernal? That said, I think we should help the 11-year-old girl.
She's a
I thought
human,
she might
right?
be a devil, but that didn't check out.
She is a human, yes.
Okay. Lucius, could you give me that reagent, please?
Yeah.
Good to have run in the family, like it did with you, Lucius. You know any other devil worshippers around? I know a house of them, but they haven't been there in a while. Place is kind of run down at the moment.
Yeah, certainly. No.
All right. Well, you guys should get some sleep. I can probably have something pretty much done by the morning. It'll be kind of articulate. I wouldn't necessarily wear it in a fight, but otherwise it'd be fine.
Okay. I mean, she has no idea what it is. She just knows what it looks like.
I mean, she drew something. I'm building something based on what she drew. So
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is that like she thinks it's some kind of gauntlet? We give her some kind of gauntlet.
Yep.
Case closed.
Hey, Seeker,
Yeah.
can I have some more of that mint perfume bull crap you made me gargle earlier?
Why?
I need it.
So here's the thing. Already going to give you one thing for free today. I don't like to do two in one day.
does anyone want any mayonnaise before I make some acid? By the way.
No. What?
No. Stop with the mayonnaise.
Why?
What? Why do you need the perfume?
I'm more of a Miracle Whip man. Anyway, to cover up a smell. So like,
All right. So here's the thing. Do you want to tell me, or do you want me to break into your room and find out? Because there's two options coming forward from this. I see the future, and there are two paths before us, opening before our very eyes.
Is that
If-
urine I smell?
yes, I'm trying to clean it up, and he won't give me the thing to not make it smell for some reason.
Can't you just prestidigitation that?
You know what? I'll do that for you. Let's go figure it out.
Okay,
I'm gonna prestidigitation this smell away.
I'm gonna get a towel and like towel up the urine around the drunk.
Anyone-
man?
Anyone need a vial of acid before they go?
I've got
I'll
to.
take one.
I'm starting to get nervous at how much acid you guys are just carrying around. So that's it for tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you
Are
do
we
anything...
Watching the girl.
That was my next question. How are you
Oh.
monitoring her?
We're locking her in.
Do we have an extra room she can sleep in?
She can sleep on the couch in here if she doesn't
Whose
mind.
room is that?
That's not a room. It's just a
Oh, it's just an office.
it's just an office area.
Okay, I think we
Door
should
with a
take.
lock in it.
I think we should take shifts.
Yeah.
I'm busy, but I'm still willing to take a shift.
Hey, you know what would be amazing?
Yeah.
If somebody had the alarm ritual.
That's true, but it requires her to move through a specific door. What if she went out the window? You know
The
what would be
window-
more amazing?
There's no
What if
window
someone
in
had
it.
a magical bird or a bat or something that could wake everyone up if she started trying to escape?
How is a bat going to wake you up?